What's going on, everybody? Rob here, aka Trev2323. Subscribe, like, and share. Now today I'm gonna do a under seal for the door right here. I bought different under seal. I bought this door threshold, but I don't think I'm gonna use it because it's foam. I'd rather stick with the caulk. But this is this right here and this right here is flashing. It's a rubberized flashing for doors and for windows. You see, I already got it underneath right here for the window. Got a lot of caulk right there. Let me try to get that off. I got that for the window, and actually I put a little bit too much caulk, so I'm letting this dry before I flash the outside. But meanwhile, I'm gonna start flashing the door. They sell it in 4-inch and 6-inch rolls. You do need a J roller to help roll it in really good, but even after the J roller, it helped when I rolled it by hand. Now with the door, I'm gonna start with the under seal right here, about 4 inches up across the bottom and 4 inches up right here. Probably hit those nails in a little bit more. See them sticking out a little bit? But I'm gonna start the flash at the bottom right here, so then everything else is gonna be on top. You know, like anything else, like your vinyl siding, like your roof, you start with the underneath, so you try to get all the water to run out. Well, this is my first time flashing the door. That was my first time flashing and installing a window myself. So if I could do it, you could do it. Believe me, if I could do it, you could do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure out some flashing right now and clean this off really good. We'll measure out the flashing from 4 inches here across here and about 4 inches up here. Now if you see this, it looks a little bit uneven because this was a 110-year-old house, and I actually went ahead and evened out. You see the little shims underneath there? That's all going to be wrapped anyways, but I had to even it out so I had a better fit with the door to put in place. What I found out with the window is you do need crowbars or somebody with a crowbar on the inside, because when I sat the window in place, it was perfect aligned with over here on this side, but you got a 2-inch gap, so the other side the nails wouldn't even go in. So this one right here I'm gonna put in the center and then go from there. But right now I'm gonna get all this cleaned out, vacuum this out, hit these nails in right here, and I'm gonna use the 6-inch under seal right here, but it's only gonna be about 4 inches over there, and then it's gonna come around the lip over here. I'm gonna have more I did it wrong already. Said I'm gonna do it wrong already. I'm gonna start with down here first and underneath to tie into here. So it's going to be down here, so I'll use the 4-inch one first to do here, and then this one is going to go over this right here. All right, so let me start out with this one right here across the bottom, and then the secondary one is going to be the really big one. All right, there was a quirky little thing that sticks out at the bottom of the door, but I just left this. So this one is going to go 2 inches over here, all the way across the bottom, 2 inches over there, and it's going to be even with this right here, and then the other flash, yeah, you can't see with the sun too much. It's going to be even with this right here, then the other flashing is going to come over the top. So this one's going to be even with this all the way across. All right, the sun is hitting it, but after you kind of get it on there, you kind of J roll it, and after you J roll it all the way, I still use my hands because it's like kind of a massage. You could do your best you can with the massage machine, but the human hand is always the best. So basically I'm just J rolling all this underneath. It's on the wood, it's on the house wrap, it's all the way around, and after this one we're going to put the bigger one across here, down here, across here on this one. The other one has foam in it, but I'm not going to use that foam. I'm just going to use caulk. Since I got a double house wrap in the corner, I want to put this U thing under this one right here, under this one, so this way when I do the next one, it'll be over the top of this one. So it's like kind of double fortified, I guess you could say. It's going to be under this one, the U, and then it's going to be over, the next piece is going to be over this one. But this is that little crazy thing I showed you, so I'm actually going to put another one right here first, a little piece right here first, and then I'll start with the U around here. But I'm going to put a little piece right there first, underneath here, and on that little bit right there first. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, I think this one sticks way better than this one right here. This one sticks really good. If I could have got this in a 6-inch roll, this sticks really good. But in the same, this one right here is up here, and it's on there pretty good, but just being nosy, I started peeling it back a little bit, and I just feel that this one right here adheres a whole lot better than that one right there. See? Start peeling that one back. And this one right here, it's harder to peel back. So I think that little white one right there, I'll see if I can find out a name, is way better than that one right there. This one looks more spoiled face and everything else, but maybe it needs a prep to go on it, but I don't know. But I like the way that one is right there. But I have 100 feet of that, so guess what I'm using. All right, this one right here is a lot better flex than this one. So this one I am going to have to cut in the corner and add a little piece, but that comes all the way up right here around and all the way up right there. Then I'm going to cut the corner right here to make it, you know, do what it needs to do. But then I'm going to add some more pieces. Heck, I might add some more of the little white one. I'm sorry with the sun today. The sun's just not working with me. But you gotta come about 4 inches up here. Get it snug in the corner as best you can. Try not to get any water leaks or air leaks. That window right there, I don't really worry about any water. It's just air. This door right here, for right now, it's gonna get water, some mist on it. Not necessarily rain because it's underneath the top. But we are going to put another door over the top of this one also. Okay, so I got the bottom part on. I got to cut the little corners to get it around. Don't forget, I got double house wrap, so it's going to go under one. Then the next one's going to go on top of it. But I am using my hands and I am J-rolling it. Both of them. I got the J-roller right here. I cut the corner right here to make it around. And then the other piece, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the little pieces to get around in here really good. I think it's really, honestly, it sticks better to the wood than it does the house wrap. It really does, but you really got to work it. So don't rush this. Take your time with it. Make sure it's as best stuck down there as you can, that you don't get any bubbles in these corners where the air can get over. This right here, if it cracks, it got like a sealant at the bottom of it that actually, it's like a rubber caulk on the back of this. See, like when it stretches, see, that's like a rubber caulk that sticks down right there. See how it's bending it with the corner and turning in? It's not breaking at all. This one right here, I think, is still way better, the white one. So I rub this in place, and then I will go ahead and do these corners next. This white tape was more pliable, more bendable, trying to hide the shade so you can see it. So I put it in the corners, and I rolled it down really good. It's more pliable, more bendable, so that's what I put on there. And then I gotta dry fit the door now. Dum, dum, dum. That's gonna be heavy. Here's one thing with me. I put the window in by myself. They say that you're supposed to dry fit the door and then go ahead and do everything. I'm flashing everything right now. I'm getting on my ladders. I'm gonna make sure everything's smooth and flash everything because I'm not dry fitting. I'm caulking around it, and once I put that door in one time, I'm putting it in one time because I'm doing it by myself. I unlocked the basement because that's gonna be my go around. Once I have it in place, I'm probably gonna use the red tape to hold it up there and then run around, shim what I need to shim around, move what I need to move around. Like I used the red tape to hold that top of that in place, and it actually sat pretty good until I was able to take care of everything I needed. So right now, I'm gonna get the same foil tape and I'm gonna go around this corner right here, all the way up. And the top's not gonna be done yet. Just this, around all this, all the way up. Oh, you know what? Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be around here or around here, but you know what? I'm doing it around all of this. No, I think it's supposed to be right here only. Oh my God, I'm so confused. Either way it goes, this right here is better than nothing right here. So, or else it goes like this. I'm gonna wrap it all the way around because this is me and that's what I'm gonna do. You see I got 3 ladders right now. It's easier for me since I'm so short just to measure the length, and since I got the 100-foot roll to measure it out, 88 inches, and then cut it at the 88 inches, then to try to put the roll to come up with the measurements. I just found out that was easier for me. All right, you think I'm crazy? Well, I just peeled that off because I moved the ladder and took that off. But the rest of this seems to adhere pretty good. You know what? I got some other tape, red tape also. You know what? I bought some $25 roll tape. I'm actually going to use that to seal this right now to see if that works better. This is the red tape. And man, I got it in really good right there. It's not sticking too good right here. But see, this sticks on the quote-unquote the envelope. But I want to put something right here before I put the door on to seal that envelope better. And I bought some $25 a roll tape for that. So let's see if it works better. Okay, this is 180 feet of force field tape. Georgia Pacific force field tape. I'm going to put that on the outside of this strip to seal that tight window flashing to this force field tape. Call me crazy. Oh my god, that Georgia Pacific tape is the bomb diggity, yo. That is like amazing, amazing. You see it sealing to everything in there. And this is the flashing, and I put this from the flashing over to the sheathing right here. So I want to make, this is the only time I'm hanging this door and working on this back porch to enclose everything and put the window up right there. So I just want to make sure it's the best that I can. And where this red tape was that's coming out right there, I'm going to put some of this Georgia Pacific tape also. Okay, this is where I'm at now. Let me try to get you out the sun. I got this strap flashing around. This is on the hot strap, and the Georgia Pacific is on both of them together. But the good thing over here is I could just put the, I'm gonna use the white one. I love this white stuff right here better than this silver stuff right here. I really do love this better. It's more flexible, more pliable. So I'm gonna actually use that for 4-inch in here to get all this in here sealed. Make sure I got covered across the top of that, because this is a constant, this J channel right here is adhered to the window. So anything that rolls down and sits on that J channel is not getting into the window. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna actually flash the top of the door, because my J channel is not here yet. That's gonna be with the siding. So I am gonna put some of this flashing on the top of the door right here. And then I'm gonna put the Georgia Pacific on top of the door. And I ain't gonna put that, man, I'm trying to think how I should do it. No, you know what? I'm not gonna flash the top of the door yet, because I'm gonna put the flashing tape on the top of the door after I set it in. Now, since I'm gonna one and done this and I'm carrying the door by myself, I'm actually gonna put the caulk on the right here. Clean this off really good since I've been walking on it. Put 3 beads of caulk on this right here. 3 good beads of caulk on the sill, and I'm gonna caulk really thick close to here, not all the way out here, close to here. I'm gonna caulk this, put a really thick bead of caulk in there, because I'm carrying the door by myself and I don't want to grab and get caulk all over my hands. I do have my tape ready, because that's how I did the window. I taped the top of it to the wall to give me a little bit of time to run around to the other side. But the window was easier because I just stepped around the corner. The door, I got to run through the basement. All right, here is the door. Little trick. They got the screws or something stapled in on the top of the door. These are the screws to put the door in, but they're stapled in here. So let me get these out right here and get the staples out, walk around, make sure there's nothing else hanging on this dang door. Get some pliers, pull that out. I gotta take this off right here, and what's gonna be terrible is I gotta get this out right here, but I probably won't pluck that out until I get it more in place, because that's kind of what's holding it kind of straight. Now this is just the exterior decorative trim, but I'm using that so the door doesn't just flop all the way in place. What I'm probably gonna do with the red tape is, once it's caulked in and all the way in there, with the red tape, I'm gonna go around one side and around the other side to kind of hold it in place, so I could pop out the rest of the stuff. So I gotta have the red tape within hand. Door is ready to go. I'm not gonna pull that plug out right there until it is resting right here. I gotta caulk all around there first, and then I could set the door in place, tape it around. You know, with the tape, with a magic eraser, you could get the tape off, so I'm not really worried about that right now. Okay, so I have the tape right here. I almost used the whole thing of caulk. 3 beads all the way around and all the way around, but close to the edge, not all the way out here, close to the edge, because you know it's gonna sit at least in there. And then I gotta carry this door now by myself, and then I'm not worried about the screws or nothing yet. I'm gonna set it in place and tape it around the dang I got the tape ready. I'm gonna tape it around, and the tape, you could just scrub off all residual from the tape off of the door later. Some people shoot one screw in there really fast. I'm gonna try to hide all the screws within the hinge and within the weather seal. That's why I didn't do that. I'm trying to line it up with the door. Man, this sucker is heavy. And I'm gonna go one step at a time. And on the last step is when I'm gonna pull out the plug. It's easier when I hold it with the handle right here where the actual plug is. So one step at a time. That's the first step. I gotta go in some more because crap. I had to go in unevenly because these damn things right here are gonna stop the trim. So I gotta try to get past these. It'll sit on the top stairs, but it won't sit on these. It'll be so much easier for me to knock one of these out, but I'm not gonna right now. Alright, there's another step. One more step. Okay. That should be the top step. No, I don't know. Let me check. Okay, pressed in. One more step and then I'm going to take the plug out. Didn't get it up high enough. Okay. Alright. Almost in place. Now I'm taking the plug out. Alright. Got the nub out. Still keep this. Don't drop it. Because remember, you got the tape on the inside. Got one more step up. We got it coming. It's kind of harder because you're now, for me to shim it, I don't want it falling back this way. So I'm taking the trim. This won't wash off. I mean, it's sitting on, this just lets it stay in place. So this is how you do a door by yourself. It's sitting in there really good, really flush. Actually, the door is all right, but it's not perfect, where you know it's not perfect. So I got to go ahead and get the level and everything and shim it now. See, I got some of the caulk from the outside, messed up my whole sweatshirt. I gotta go back down to San Antonio to get another one. So what I'm gonna do now is get my level and start leveling it off. Before, you weren't supposed to, back in the day, you weren't supposed to open the door until you know everything was square. Nowadays, they say do the side with the hinges first and then square up the other side. See? Aha. Look at that threshold. Perfect. I don't want to slam it too hard because I don't want it to fall out the other way. But this threshold is further back because, see, this can come in some more. See, it can come in some more. And then I probably got to shim it up higher. Wow, look at that. Look at that. This is 3 inches down there. I left the gap at the top there. Dope! How did that happen? It was measured twice, cut once. Do not have Southern Comfort. I had like a bottle of Southern Comfort already. I did fill that in and you cannot tell that happened, but yes, that was a terrible mistake. All right, where you're at. Right here, I'm a little bit off in the bottom, so I gotta shim out the bottom a little bit to make it level. But the first screw you put in is you pull out one of these at the top and then put that in. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this side is nice and level before I go ahead and put anything in there. Oh, I'm so upset about the top. So upset about the top. This is an 82-inch door. I framed that at 84 inches, and you see everything I got at the top left over. The floor is perfect. The floor is right. The door has to be moved over some at the bottom. See the big gap over here? You can see there's a huge gap over here. So all that is going to be done with the shims. All right, you have to become a shim master at this. See, that's about perfect right there. About perfect. About perfect. Now let me show you what I did. I used the crowbar and this, and I pushed the door to the side and I nailed shims in right there. But you want about the same amount of gap on this side as the same amount of gap on that side. Okay, so now what I have to do is I gotta screw into here, take the screws out from the hinge right there and screw into there. But seeing that there is still a gap there, what you have to do is you have to fill in the gap with shims where you're gonna put your screw in at. Oh, I don't want it to go out. I don't want the wind to take it out. So I'm putting my shims in there because I am going to screw into there. I'm gonna make sure the door is all the way back as far as I can. I'm gonna make sure the door is all the way back as far as I can. Then I'm gonna pull out 2 of the door screws. Actually, I'll pull out one of them first, and then I'll shoot that straight in there. I say I put some shims in there where I want to shoot the screws at, so the screws could go right in there. Before I shoot the screws, you get the level again, and you make sure you're on level. I think the bottom could come out a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is hit my first screw in right now to hold the door. But what you do is you take out the center screw right here. I'm sorry, take out the center screw right here, and then you hit the long screw they gave you. Sorry, then you hit the long screw they gave you right into there. All right, I'm trying to hide all the screws behind here, but what I did is I actually drilled a pilot hole. Got the shim, made sure it was level, plumb, drilled the pilot hole, and I'm gonna go from there. Everything is completely squared all the way around, all the way up and down. On this right here, I pre-drilled, still pinched it a little bit, so I was pissed about that. These are 2.5-inch screws with the little shims, 2.5-inch. Don't use the smaller ones. Closes pretty good. I gotta get that bottom one to close, so when you close it, it clicks close and it holds closed. So this is the next one I'm putting in. I'm taking these off the old door that I had. I had to grind the back of it down so it could fit, so I ground the back of it down. I'm gonna put some more shims right back here to screw the next ones in right here. I'm not shimming them to pop them out more. I'm shimming them to so it don't bow in more. And when you think you bought enough shims, buy some more. I swear to God, look at all these shims right here. These are all getting shimmed in, and like I said, these shims on this side are not to pop it out more. It's level. It is to actually stop it from bowing in the opposite way. All right, so I got those shimmed in. These were actually off the other door. Locks off the other door, same key. Making sure that it's closing okay. So with the other lock in here, it should be able to lock on there pretty good. I don't know if I screw one of these yet. See, I got a big screw in here. I gotta put a big screw in here yet. So I'm gonna take one of these out and put a 2.5-inch screw in there right now. But then I got one more to drill in at the bottom. Then I'm gonna foam it all. But I don't use these little door screws for your locks. Use these little door screws for your locks, they lock that. You use a bigger screw for your lock, it actually gets into the stud. It get 4 screws to the meat in the stud, You have 4 screws like that, or you got 4 screws like that. Which do you want protecting your lock? I bet I know. Okay, the door's in place. It's kind of locked in place with all those shims. So right now what I'm gonna do is get rid of all the caulk that I have, the excess caulk that I got all around. I'm gonna try to get rid of some of that. And then, cause it already started to get dry and hard. But looking around the sides, granted we're gonna get a J channel that's gonna go around that. A J channel is gonna go around that. So I just want to get some of it up because I don't like how it looks a little bit messy. The door is in right already. I'm putting the locks on now, and I know what I did wrong. I measured 84 inches for an 82-inch door, and I actually wound up getting an 80-inch door. So that's why they say measure twice, cut once. What I don't like is these had the indentions for the locks right here, and that was pretty cool. These don't got the indentions, so I actually got to cut these out myself with a chisel, and I really hate doing that. I really do hate having to put these in. I gotta mortise that right in there to screw it in place. But you see, I gotta get all that where it can slide back in place, and it's not sticking out from the door. So I drew my little circle, and I have my little I forget what the heck these are called, but either way, this is PVC, so I'm just kind of chipping it out with this right here. My God, it took me about an hour of whittling this PVC because I didn't want to whittle it too bad to go down there. But if it's locked and I close it, guess what? It is in there. Unlock it, let it go. It's open and it's locked. Next feat, I gotta get the deadbolt to line up. But here's the thing right here. I'm probably gonna put more screws in it. I mean, it does grab really good. So I'm gonna do the deadbolt next. Whittle everything to get the deadbolt in place right here. I'm telling you, this is actually my second door that I hung in place. Get that out right there. The second one that I ever hung in place, but the first one was it was a garage door, and I really kind of had no idea what I was doing. This one I had a little bit of idea because the first one there was no YouTube around. So let me get this deadbolt in, and then I actually got to deal with the top part, and it got enough really big long screws in it. It got enough really big long screws in it, but yeah, that's a nightmare trying to whittle that kind of in place like that and make sure that it's really nice. I got the next one I got to do now for the deadbolt. All right, bear with me. What the heck happened here? All right, I measured a rough opening of 84 inches. The rough opening should have been 82 inches because I only had an 80-inch door. I thought I had an 82-inch door. So the difference is this right here is going to be 2x4, because that's what the distance is of a 2x4, plus the 1/2 inch for this right here. Coming up high, it's going to be a 2x4 plus 2 1/2 inch of these pressed on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the exact piece that should be in here, flash it and everything, and then I'm going to nail it into here, and I'm going to get some long screws and screw it in from the top into the header right here. So I'm making this exact piece. This is going to be a 2x4 with a 1/2 inch on the front, and then on the plywood I'm having 2 pieces of plywood to make the other 3 inches where it sits flush with this and the outside, and then I'm going to put flashing on the outside. I'm doing that before I do this right here. Believe it or not, I mean, I'm trying to do these videos to help out, but it takes so much longer trying to do a video. Right, let me show you what I'm doing. Get my drift here. This right here is the actual width of where the header is too high. This is the actual width. So on the front of this is a 1/2 inch shorter than what I need to make it to the front of the door. But don't forget, on the headers I got a 1/2 inch plywood nailed this way. So after I nail this together, I'm just using brad nails to nail this together, and then after I hit this together with brad nails, I'm gonna put a front on here with brad nails, and then putting the tape on here, the white tape on here, and then tacking that into place. I'm gonna tack this onto the front of this, then I'm gonna wrap it, and it should be the exact same measurement that I am missing. This is just exactly like the header. This is just coming on to top part right here. And let me show you, because remember I cut the door short because I didn't measure 10 times, cut 5 times, or it's short up there. So, oh, there's no front piece on that anyways right now, so I got to get that caulk off right there. And then this actually is going to slide in from the back right here. So I'm putting the white tape across the front of it already right now, so it's weatherproofed. So when I push it out there on this size, I could put the big tape across the front. Pretty awesome, huh? What? No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Look at that. That's that exact same piece that I'm missing right now. I know I'm gonna have to have a hammer to get it in place, but then look what else I did. I caulked it really good up here. A lot of caulk in there, and then I'm gonna screw it from here into the top piece, so it's not resting on this. This is actually gonna screw into this. Pretty smart. Okay, for the life of me, I couldn't get this corner to come back that little bit, man, and believe me, I tried. So you know me with the vibrating saw, evened it out on the inside, and I'm putting this flashing over the top of this, and then I'm gonna do the other flashing, but this is gonna be on the top of this to this right here. And then I'm gonna do the bigger one, and then I'm gonna put the whole thing down right there. This rubber one up here, and you see I got it on the door sill itself. The J channel is still gonna go here, but I'm rubbing it into the door to create a J channel. So this is on the door to create the J channel, and then I'm gonna put the other metal one up here, and then I'm gonna flap that down right there, so I don't want any water going behind this door right here. I kind of screwed that up, but you see we're under, so not a lot of rain's gonna get here, but I am gonna put the J channel up there. Man, this wind is going crazy on that portable. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this all rubbed in, then get the steel one, and then I'll probably do Georgia Pacific and layer them and layer them and layer them, and then put the top flange down right here. All right, I gotta show you how amazing this looks with my J channel that I made right here. All right, you can't even tell that this is the actual white tape, then this is the gold tape, or the silver tape, and that just all, nothing can get back there. No air leak, no nothing. What I'm worried about, I stopped the white one right here, and then here's the miter right here, so I am going to put a white strip over right here. I do have this Georgia Pacific that I could put over right here, but I don't know. Like I says, I feel more comfortable if I just put a white piece right around this corner right here, and then I'm going to Georgia Pacific all this down, even around there. Georgia Pacific all that down. So I'm probably gonna white caulk inside of this miter too. I don't know, but it did come out stunning. You can't even tell that I made that little mistake. I was gonna take back the $25 roll of tape. Man, this thing is the bomb. I got all that waterproof stuff, but I put this over all the waterproof stuff, and it is amazing. I still have to put the deadbolt in that door, but since I'm up here and I got everything going now, I'm gonna start flashing that window right there. Before it gets any darker, I can start putting stuff away. Then I'll just use a light and work on the inside. But the same thing, I'm gonna flash with this right here. This is pretty awesome. So I'm gonna flash with this and then go over it with the Georgia Pacific. But now on this window, let me show you this window has its own J channel. So I'm actually gonna flash in between the J channel and on this Georgia Pacific. I'm flashing right here, but I'm gonna start with the bottom one first, and then I'm gonna do the top one, and then I'm gonna do the tippity top one. How do young kids say it? My bad. This is already flashed, so now we got to come up the side, and then with after the side, then we're gonna do the top. But like I said, this is a PVC J channel into the window, so this adheres right to that. So that should not get any wind or water. And you see I used the white one, I didn't use the silver one. Paid so much for that silver one, and I love the way this white one sticks way better. So I'm gonna use the J channel and roll this one out right now if I can fit. Man, I gotta go backwards. There's not enough room. This is gonna be a nightmare to side. Day 17 working on the house. Look at this here. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Window, no air leaks. I didn't put the foam around it yet. I didn't put the foam around it yet because I don't want to just use a can and kind of waste it. So I'm waiting to put the other windows in, which I am doing today. That's all I'm doing. The house is wrapped, sealed, and everything. I gotta measure these stairs because the stairs and rails and everything, we're getting new ones. But see this big board? We're doing these windows today, and I already showed you how to do windows or how I did windows, but I'm gonna show you a little bit extra because I bought something. Man, I was just sharpening my knife and something popped off the angle grinder, hit me right here.